Jack Leiter gets another start in the bigs. How's he going to do? We're going to talk about it. This is Krusty Case from the Go Boys Network here, coming with the slate preview for May 14th. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Sleeper Picks. Let's hop right into yesterday's recap. As I'm recording this, we're currently sitting at 7-0 on our picks and leans, with one push and 5 more still in action. So we will get the full recap once this day is over, but right now we're looking great, looking like another profitable day. Let's hop into this slate though. Our first game on the slate. Is the Philadelphia Phillies taking on the New York Mets. It is Aaron Nola versus Jose Butto. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but man, do I want to back the Phillies. This team just continues to prove time and time again that they're the best team in baseball right now, and I don't see how you can't back them here. Favored once again on the road, and I know Nola isn't the Nola of old, but in my opinion, he's still good enough to navigate this Mets lineup. So I'm going to roll with the Phillies here. Take them on the money line. I think they get it done for us. In terms of Ks, don't really love either guy. Maybe a small lean to Butto over. He's looked really good, like 93rd percentile, and I believe chase and whiff. So I mean, he's looked really, really good. So small lean to Butto over Ks, but give me the Phillies money line. Our next one is the Washington Nationals taking on the Chicago White Sox. Trevor Williams versus Chris Flexen, and this is game 1 of a doubleheader. We talked about this game yesterday, and I have the same opinion on it, same pitching matchup. So give me the Nationals. I like the Nationals to get this one done. I think Trevor Williams is pitching really well. I expect him to pitch well here against this White Sox team who, just needs to come back down to reality. Let's face it, they're not a good team. They've been kind of scrapping together a few wins here, and I think this is one of those games where there's a bit of a reality check because Trevor Williams has been outstanding. So I expect him to pitch well. I expect Flexen to get slapped around a little bit by this Washington team, and the Nationals going to win here. All right. Our next one is the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Baltimore Orioles. This is Chris Bassett versus Kyle Bradish. For me in this one, I'm not a big Bassett guy. Big pitch arsenal. Sit around from time to time, and I'm gonna roll with the Orioles here. I like Bradish. I like his stuff. I like him against this Jays team. As we saw today, this Jays team, not hitting well, and I think that continues against Bradish. Bradish looked pretty good in his first start back, and I just think it continues here. Jays team that over the last 2 weeks, 60 plus right around like 85, so nothing special. We're gonna see a lot of quick ABs, like I always talk about. They don't work the count at all. So expect Bradish to pitch deep, and I think they can get a few runs off of Bassett here. So give me the Orioles on the money line. In terms of Ks, I don't love either guy personally. Depending on the line, I guess you could look at Bradish, but I probably lean under on both guys, truthfully. Our next one is the Miami Marlins taking on the Detroit Tigers. This is Ryan Weathers versus Reese Olson. And you got to give me the Tigers here on the money line. I like them here. It's a good spot. Ryan Weathers, a lefty. Tigers sneakily are crushing left-handed pitching and actually have been super K adverse to lefties this season, in particular at home. So give me Ryan Weathers under his Ks. I don't think he gets there, whatever the line may be. And give me the Tigers on the money line. Reese Olson, been pitched pretty well overall this season. Gets a Marlins team that, as we all know, flat out just not hitting. So I think Tigers get this one done. I think they hit Weathers around quite a bit, and they take care of business for us. Our next one is the Tampa Bay Rays taking on the Boston Red Sox. It's Aaron Savale versus Nick Pivetta. If you tailed any of the plays from yesterday, we had the under 8.5 in this first game of the series, and oh my goodness, was it the sweatiest cash probably ever. But I'm kind of leaning that way here, but I don't think I'm going to quite get to the under this time. Give me Tampa Bay. I don't really love Aaron Savale, but he's coming off a pretty bad start, and I think this is a spot where he can kind of bounce back. We saw Eflin get hit around, and obviously there's a bit of concern for Savale here for a similar situation. But I just think that his stuff plays a little better against Boston. I think we could see him at least hold this team relatively in check. Don't love the Tampa Bay bullpen rather, but I think Pivetta honestly he didn't look very sharp against the Braves, and I think that's going to take him a couple starts to kind of get back in the groove coming off injury. So I like Tampa to hopefully get us some runs here, and I think Savale can keep these boys in check. So give me Tampa Bay on the money line. In terms of Ks, Pavetta's the guy I normally like to back, but like I said, he just didn't look sharp against the Braves. Breaking ball wasn't good. threw a lot of cutters, a lot more than I'm used to seeing from him. So small lean to his over, but I don't love it because I'm not sure that he's going to, get back to throwing his curveball more. So more of like a wait and see kind of spot for me, just kind of monitor it.
Wait, before we get back to the picks, I wanted to thank you all for watching. Friends don't let friends watch videos without hitting the like button. So go ahead and press the thumbs up button and like the video. If you're new here and not subscribed, you should go ahead and do so because we're dropping new content each and every day on the Gold Boys Network. We strive to cover every sport and give out picks and analysis and valuable information for free on the Gold Boys Network. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell so you can get notified when we drop something new. I'm Brad Thomas. Let's get back to the picks.
Our next one is the Chicago Cubs taking on Atlanta Braves. This is Jameson Taillon versus Chris Sale, and this one, it's going to be, relatively chalky, but you gotta give me the Braves here. Have to be on the run line because the money line is disgusting. Actually, you know what? I take it back. I'm gonna roll with a Chris Sale player performance double. So I'm gonna go with Chris Sale, 7 strikeouts, and the Braves money line. It should be right on even money. I think it's a great look. You get a Cubs team who struggle with velo for majority of the season. They're like, I would say, 3rd highest whiff rate in all of baseball. And Sale, as we all know, has been absolutely filthy. Expecting the deal here, expecting to handle this Cubs team. Probably going to see guys like Wisdom in the lineup because they play against lefties, but he's also a super high K guy. So I think Sale can absolutely rack these strikeouts up, and I think that the Braves team can get Taillon if this one even plays. I think there's a pretty high chance this one gets rained out, but if it goes, give me the Braves, give me Chris Sale K's, and I think we see a big win here. Our next one is the New York Yankees taking on the Minnesota Twins. It's Carlos Rodon versus Chris Paddock. You get the Yankees favorite here on the road, and I'm going to roll with it. I'm going to go with the Yankees money line. I like Rodon. He seems to have gotten the velo back, so his stuff's looking really good. This Twins team, hasn't struck out a lot lately to lefties, but they also haven't seen a lefty like Rodon. So for me here, I do like Rodon K's. We might even get a bit of a discount just because the Twins have been a bit K adverse. So I think it's a great spot for Rodon strikeouts. Like I said, I love the Yankees on the money line. Chris Paddock, not good. Let's just be honest. He made a couple good starts against some bad teams, mainly the White Sox. And I think against this Yankees team, who, as we've all seen, is really starting to swing it a bit, this is just a tough spot for him. And I think he gets hit around. Like I said, I like Rodon to deal here. I think he has a nice outing. Gets a Twins team they should be able to navigate pretty well, in my opinion. So give me the Yankees on my line. Give me Rodon K's. And I love both of them. Our next one is the Pittsburgh Pirates taking on Milwaukee Brewers. This is Quinn Priester versus Joe Ross, and this could be the grossest game in the entire slate. I'm not going to roll with Milwaukee on the money line this time just because I don't trust Joe Ross at all, even though Pittsburgh isn't hitting. I'm going to go with the Brewers team total. I think Quinn Priester going to continue to struggle. Get a Brewers team that, while they have cooled off a bit over the last couple weeks, overall just crushing right-handed pitching. And I think having Yelich back is obviously a big boost for them, so I like them to score some runs here. Give me the Brewers team total. In terms of Ks, don't love either guy. Maybe a small lean to Joe Ross over just because this Pittsburgh team been striking out quite a bit as of late. 25% K rate versus right-handed pitching over the last 2 weeks. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ross covers his Ks, but again, just small lean, don't love it. Brewers team total though, for sure. Our next one is the Washington Nationals taking on the Chicago White Sox. It's game 2 of the doubleheader. Mitchell Parker versus Eric Fetty. And the first thing I'd look at here is Mitchell Parker, his strikeouts. His K stuff's been a bit down since his first couple starts. But game 2 of doubleheader, you're typically going to see some of these guys who don't necessarily play all the time. And this White Sox team against lefties has already been pretty bad this season. So I just think you're probably going to see a lineup of probably 6-7 guys, K percent right around 25% or higher. And it's going to be way too many targets for Parker to not go over whoever his line may be. So give me Mitchell Parker K's here. In terms of a side, I don't want to say back the Nationals again because it just seems too obvious, but that's probably the way I'd be leaning. Maybe the over. I usually like taking the over in game 2 of a doubleheader, so give me a small lean to the over and a small lean to the Nationals money line in game 2. The next one is the Cleveland Guardians taking on Texas Rangers. This is Ben Lively, and on ESPN they show undecided, but I've been seeing a lot about Jack Leiter getting another start. So we're going to roll with it as Jack Leiter for now. For me here, I love the over. Leiter struggled through 2 starts. I think he struggles here. You get a Cleveland team that's a really high contact team. Been super patient at the plate. Walk percent right around 12% over the last 2 weeks. So I think they get guys on base. I think they score some runs. And on the other side, you get a Rangers team that really isn't hitting right now. Obviously, we all know that. But Ben Lively, a guy who's not that good, also struggled with command. And I think that, putting those guys on base, I just think this is a spot where Texas can finally take advantage. So give me the over. I think we see a ton of runs here. Don't love either guy's Ks personally, so probably pass on both for me. What's going on, everybody? I just want to take this moment to give a special shout out to our sponsor, Sleeper Picks. Thank you for sponsoring this video. And don't forget, you can use code GOALBOYS for a $500 deposit match on your first deposit. Thank you, Sleeper Picks, for sponsoring this video. Now back to the bets. Our next one is the Oakland Athletics taking on the Houston Astros, JP Sears versus Ronel Blanco. And I hate to run plays back, but I'm going to go with the Astros run line again. Ronel Blanco overall has been outstanding. I think his changeup will play extremely well here against this Oakland team, and I just expect him to absolutely deal. On the other side, JP Sears, been actually pretty good overall, but very tough matchup here against Houston. As we all know, top 5 offensively versus left-handed pitching, and like sub 15% K rate versus left-handed pitching as well. So JP Sears under his Ks, I think it's a great play here. And like I said, Astros on the run line, I think they get another big win. Find a great pitching performance from Ronel Blanco. Couldn't talk anyone off of Ronel's over Ks either. Like I said, that changeup against this team with a high chase rate, I just expect it to play extremely well. So Ronel Blanco over Ks, JP Sears under Ks, and the Astros minus 1.5. Our next one is the St. Louis Cardinals taking on the Los Angeles Angels. This is Sonny Gray versus Reed Detmers. I am all in on the Sonny Gray bounce back performance. He got hit around by that Milwaukee team quite a bit. A ton of hard contact. I mean, a ton. Almost every ball put in play, it was a hard hit. So I like him to bounce back here. Against an Angels team that, as we know, since Trout went down, just not the same offense. They just don't have that guy anymore. And striking out, right around 25% for right-handed pitching. So I think Sonny Gray Ks are absolutely in play here. I love it. Love for him to bounce back. I think the breaking ball is going to be an absolute nightmare pitch for this Angels team. And Reed Detmers, overall, been up and down, back and forth a bit this season. Looked really good at times, looked really bad at times. It's a Cardinals team that, as we all know, just not hitting that well this season. But they've been pretty patient. They've been working a lot of walks. And one thing about Reed Detmers is, he can really lose sight of the zone and really just lose his, command and start putting guys on base. So I think this one's going to be pretty low scoring. Do lean under in the game. But I'm going to take the Cardinals on money line. I expect them to get this win here. Like I said, Sonny Gray Ks, I think, could be a potential ladder spot pending lineup. It's a great spot for him to rack them up. Great spot for him to bounce back. Our next one is the Cincinnati Reds taking the Arizona Diamondbacks. This is Hunter Green versus Slade Cecconi. We just saw this matchup. Now they're playing in Arizona. I don't love the matchup overall. I didn't love it the first time either. But I'm going to roll with the Reds here. Likely on the money line because the plus 1.5 probably be too juiced. So we'll go roll Reds money line. I think Hunter Green once again pitches well. Diamondbacks team just not hitting right now. Really struggling against righties. So it's a good spot for Hunter Green to pitch well once again. And like I said, offensively the Reds aren't hitting well either. So it's not like a spot where I'm like running to bet this. But I think you just back Hunter Green. Cecconi, not a good pitcher overall. He pitched pretty well against the Reds the first time. So to me, just with his mix, I think this is a spot where the Reds could take advantage. I mean, will they? I don't know, because I'm not going to sit here and try to predict when a team's going to break out of the hitting slump that they're in. But I like Hunter Green. I like the Reds here. I think they get this win. Hunter Green seems to be the stopper for them, at least when it comes to these losing streaks. So I'll roll with Hunter Green and the Reds. Don't love the Ks. Like I said, the close proximity start kind of spooks me off. We'll see what kind of line we get, though, because depending on lineup, I mean, I could be in. If we get Tucker Barnhart in there, it's obviously a big K guy. Kevin Newman, big K guy as well. So we'll see what the lineup looks like. But for now, nothing on the Ks. Just give me the Reds money line. Next one is the Colorado Rockies taking on the San Diego Padres. This is Cal Quantrill versus Dylan Cease. I'm going to take the under. The total for this game, 7.5. Cal Quantrill's been really good. I don't know why, but he has. And I expect that to continue, truthfully. He just seems like he's in a groove right now, getting a lot of soft contact, a lot of ground balls. And against this Padres team, I think he can do that. I really do. Obviously, there's always a concern they're going to put up some runs. But for me, the full game under kind of has a bit of a buffer there because I don't envision Cease giving up anything truthfully, and I expect him to go 6-7 innings. So there's a way where this thing stays under and the Padres put up some runs, where it's like 6-0 or 5-1 or 6-1, and we're still under 7.5. So I'm gonna roll with the under. It's gonna be probably a little scary, but I think we get there. And I love Cease strikeouts, obviously. Colorado, highest chase rate in all of baseball, lowest chase contact rate. K rate through the roof, right around like 29% versus right-handed pitching. So I expect Cease, even in a close proximity start, to once again deal against this team. He's just so locked in right now, and this Rockies team is just so undisciplined at the plate. So it's impossible for me to ignore this spot. Our next one, Kansas City Royals taking on Seattle Mariners. This is Michael Wacha versus Logan Gilbert. Gilbert coming off a start where he got absolutely touched up by, I believe it was the Twins. I'm gonna roll with the under. It's another game, low total, and obviously I don't necessarily like playing the same play in two different games, but that's where I'm going. Seattle's not hitting well right now, so I think Wacha in the way with his changeup and the sinker, get a lot of ground balls, a lot of soft contact, keep this thing low scoring. They're in a really good pitcher's park. And then Gilbert, I just expect to bounce back. He's a great pitcher, been outstanding all season except for this last start, and what great pitchers do, they bounce back. So give me the under. I see this game being like a 3-2, something like that. Low scoring, maybe 5 runs total. In terms of Ks, if we get a Wacha 4.5, I might have to take it because the Seattle team is so undisciplined. It's hard to see him not getting to 5 strikeouts. And I'm going to lean under on Gilbert. This Kansas City team super K adverse as I continue to try and drive home. 15% carry versus right-handed pitching over the last 2 weeks. Top 3 in zone and chase contact. They've just been outstanding at the plate. And obviously they're going to have their games, where, they might, strike out a few more times than usual. But overall, the large sample, if you're taking unders against them, you're going to, be profitable because this team has just been absolutely outstanding at the plate. Our last one on the slate is the Dodgers taking on San Francisco Giants. This is Gavin Stone versus Keaton Winn. I'm going to roll Dodgers team total. I watched quite a bit of Keaton Winn's last start against the Rockies. I hadn't watched a ton of them prior to that, and I just was not impressed. Stuff didn't look good, and then I went back and actually watched some clips from some other starts, and the stuff looked just as bad. So I'm going to roll Dodgers team total here. I think they get to win here. I can't lay... I don't want to... Minus 165 for the Dodgers isn't a terrible price, truthfully, because usually they're around minus 300. But I just don't want to lay that, don't want to trust Gavin Stone, truthfully. So I'll roll with Dodgers team total. I think they put up a ton of runs here. And then in terms of the Ks, Gavin Stone under Ks. He's been pretty good overall this season, but this Giants team just super weird home and away. Their home K per 9 is like full 4 Ks less than their away K per 9. So I'll roll with the Gavin Stone under Ks here and the Dodgers team total. That does conclude our slate. If you guys do me a favor, drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys are playing. Let me know if you're making money with us. We've been absolutely rolling on these picks and leans. Looking to keep it going. As always, you can get all my official plays at goldboys.com. If you have a gambling problem, dial 1-800-GAMBLER. Thank you guys.